Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is May the 15th. Honey, give me that remote. Thank you. All right. May the 15th. I was kind of running a little bit late. And Laura, I was trying to talk to her and tell her a little bit about the directions as to what to do. And the time came about us so quick. I had a heck of a week, and that's what happened to me. So welcome, everybody. I see Karen's in the house. Steph, Karen Roscoe from Georgia, and I think Lee's from South Carolina, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong on any of these, then forgive me. Danny Couples is in the house. Darren, Sunlover, all the regulars, and I love it from coast to coast. And I know that we do get watched in Ireland and Australia and all those other places too. So if you're from some Michigan. Yep, Steph, I know you're from Michigan. I think I misstated that. Washington State. Bourne, Texas. I think I've been there, but I can't remember. Boulder City, Nevada. Thanks for throwing up your cities. I appreciate that. I always love to see where people are from. And, I've completed thanks a lot. I'm glad to be back from Indiana, but I had a really good time there. And I've had one heck of a last week. I mean, this last week, I've spent the last full Monday through Friday, to include today, working the streets for the first time in almost 20 years. And what an experience that's been. And I can tell you that I've kept a smile on my face. I've been recognized a lot, and that's always fun. And a lot of people are like, wow, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm working the streets. I'm fighting crime and suppressing the evil in Southeast Tulsa and loving it. So anyway, it's been quite the experience. And so I'm learning how policing has changed. And it has, ladies and gentlemen, big time. Today's guest is going to be a lot of fun, and Lora is somebody that I happened to see speak in Marksville, Louisiana, and she absolutely, I met her before she spoke, and we had a little bit of a discussion and so forth, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go watch you speak, and I did, and I managed to sit in on her presentation, and it was absolutely dynamite. I loved it. And she's just a bunch of energy, and I really enjoyed it, so much so that we talked after that as well, and I told her while I was speaking, in front of a crowd of about 150, 170 people, something like that, how much I enjoyed her presentation. And she is a counselor, and she counsels first responders. That's a big part of what she does. And I think that I definitely wanted to bring her on here because she talks a lot about different things that can help you, and you don't have to be a first responder, but I think that that's really awesome that we're actually putting a priority on that in law enforcement, firefighting, whatever, in first responder world, to put an emphasis on our mental health. And I think that that's really important. Her husband actually is a firefighter, and so he was kind of there, and he was watching her presentation as well. So let's bring on Lora and not waste any time. Let's just bring her on. Lora, thank you so much for being here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I appreciate you being here.
And I can't hear you for some reason.
All right.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
Let's see.
I'll tell you what.
Always technical difficulties.
Go down to the, we'll figure it out. Hang on a minute. There's always, see, that's the thing. We didn't have it. I thought we had a chance. Can you hear me? That's all right. I'll just call her real quick. Hang on a minute.
Do you not understand what we've got? Good.
All right. I'm going to put her number in there for you, and I'll put it in the private chat. Sorry, everybody. Listen, I'm telling you, it was one of those weeks, as I'm doing this, I had one of those weeks where I was basically, the whole reporting system as to how we do police reports has all changed. So every single officer on our police department is completely lost. and it's not easy to do. So I've sent you guys, Amanda. I've sent the phone number. So Chris or Amanda, give her a ring, and I'm sure you guys can get her on. So anyway, nevertheless, I saw her speak in Louisiana. She was epic. I got to speak in Indiana. I spoke to the excise police. They're the police that deals with a lot of different things, and they were a lot of fun. And I want to make mention next week, ladies and gentlemen, if you live in Cadiz or Trigg County, Kentucky, get off the couch and go vote for my buddy Troy Belt. He would appreciate it if you would. And I hope you guys enjoyed that episode last week, where essentially last week we had we were live together and so forth, and that was a lot of fun as well. This is episode number 94. I want to welcome everybody for being here, and I want to thank everybody also for okay, yeah, Chris is giving her a call, so we're gonna get it taken care of. We'll get her on here. I'm sure it's the speaker setting on her computer. But anyway, episode 94, and it's gonna be a good evening. I'm telling you, she's gonna talk a lot about stuff that you can actually get your hands on, and it'll help you too if you're having a little bit of anxiety or you just want to have some stress relief, etc. What does everybody think about the Murtaugh case? The Murtaugh case, they threw out his murder conviction, and they basically threw that out, and they're going to retry it. I actually know the lead detective from the Murtaugh case in South Carolina. I spent some time with him. We had a drink or two together on a riverboat or somewhere in North Carolina. We were on a boat, and we were talking about that case. He's a very interesting guy, and I'm sure he is just absolutely thrilled to death to have to do that whole thing again. And the reason for that is because I think she was a bailiff, or she was somebody that worked there where she handled the jury. Usually it's a bailiff. I don't know if that was the name for this person or not, but they ended up, she was telling them how they needed to find him guilty and stuff like that. And you can't do that. You can't do that. That's a no. And so essentially, they threw it out. It was a unanimous decision by the courts in South Carolina, and so he will be retried. And even if they were to find him not guilty, which I would find really hard to believe, but even if they weren't going to retry it, he still has to spend 25 years in prison at least, and that's for the financial stuff that that case isn't going anywhere. And the other thing that they mentioned is they talked about how they really shouldn't have talked a lot about his financial ruins and so forth, but I think that is part of the story if you think about it. And I don't know if you followed that case or not. I followed it a little bit, and I started following it a lot towards the end. And I thought that the lawyers in that case for the prosecution, I thought he did a dynamite job, really, because Murtaugh is somebody that's skilled in the courtroom, so he was able to do his thing, etc. So I don't know, but hopefully we're going to be able to do. If you got a question for me, shoot it to me, and I'll. Did you give out any autographs while on the streets? I did not give out any autographs, but I took a handful of selfies, and it was crazy because I went to a chicken place, and this one lady goes, "Do you remember me from that murder back in the day?" And I was like, no. And then there was another guy that was sitting in there, and he's like, "Do you remember me? My grandparents were murdered." And that was a case I do remember. And so I was in a restaurant, and I'm just seeing people all over the place. And so anyway, but it's been fun. And people were, saying hello to me, and they've all been kind, and everybody's been super nice, and that's great. I want to thank everybody for those that have joined me. That we didn't execute somebody in Tulsa, but they did execute somebody. Steph said that Tulsa executed somebody yesterday. That's a guy that actually committed a murder in Tulsa, and I can't remember the year. I think it was 2005 is when he killed a mother and then her baby. And so they executed him yesterday, and good riddance. See you later. Sounds like just what the doctor ordered. And so they still do executions here in the great state of Oklahoma. And it sounds like that guy probably had it coming. So anyway, let's see. If anybody's got a question, feel free to shoot one my way, and we can do that in the meantime. And I'm sure that it's one of those things where I could hear her fine. I think it's going to be her computer on the speaker thing if she just hits a different speaker, and I think that we'll be able to get her there. But how have things changed in the streets from the last time that I walked the beat? Well, let's see. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you a call that I went out on that just kind of stands out to me, and it was a guy that was acting really stupid, is what I said. And I asked the business person, this guy was staring in the windows of this business and kind of trying to scare the employees from through the window and just being an idiot. And so I asked the clerk at the store, I said, so he was acting stupid. And she goes, yeah. And so we ended up finding this guy. And later on, my FTO was a girl that's been on, I think she's been on 5 years. And I'm as old, I could be her father, honestly. And so she goes, hey, you got to be careful about that. And I'm like, careful about what? And she goes, you can't say that he was acting stupid. And I'm like, have we really gotten to that point in our lives where in policing, people act stupid? And I don't know that I'm going to be able to change that. So, but how's things changed? I've got a body camera that I got to turn on every time I get out of the police car. And so I'm getting monitored like constantly. And so, it's different. It's different. You have to remember how to do it. You got to download it every time. It's like, here's what policing has came to. And this is just my opinion in a nutshell. It's like they've got so many things that you have to do now to be transparent. Where are you at? What are you doing? You got to do this. You got to do that. They've saddled the regular beat cop out there or the street cop with so many things that they have to think about between camera, download this. If you do this, you've got to do this. If you do that, you've got to do these 15 different things, etc. And hopefully you're able to hear me now, Laura. But they've said, can you not hear me? I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly.
You're
Yes, sir.
You're on a cell phone now. So
We are using a cell phone. Yes, sir.
turn it sideways.
Let's see. Does that help?
There you go. There you
There we
go.
go.
All right. Welcome, Laura.
Thank
Don't let
you.
that rattle you. I know it won't because you have nerves of steel. And so don't worry about it. It's all really my fault. I'm going to take full responsibility, but we're not going to let that ruin tonight. Tonight's going to be great. I like I said, let's go backwards. I was telling the audience while we were off here, they asked me how policing has changed over the last 20 years. And because I've been in a police car, I've had some anxiety, Laura. That's why I needed you here. I needed a counselor in here to talk to. Turn your volume down, though. Turn the volume down on your deal.
Gotcha. There we go.
There you go, on your computer. So, because I'm hearing myself.
Okay. Is that better?
No.
Okay. That better?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm hearing myself in your background, so you're gonna have to get that fixed.
Okay.
Call her, Chris. Call her and get that fixed. Okay, I don't hear myself now. So are we good?
Okay, we're good.
Hey, Chris, give her a ring and tell her to turn off whatever the heck she's got on so I don't hear myself. But anyway, nevertheless, hey, listen, we'll get her fixed up in a quick minute, I promise. That's the thing that I think, and just to finish my point real quick, man, this has been like it's really mostly my fault because we didn't have a chance to iron this stuff out. But it's like they have saddled the regular street cop with so many things to do that, and there I am. That was my first day at school. That was Monday morning at about 5 a.m. on my way about ready to walk out the door. I start my shift at 6:30 in the morning. I get off at 2:30, which is kind of nice. Actually, I have to be there at 6:15. We have a 15-minute situation. And then I think that if she's ready, just throw her in there when she's ready. But nevertheless, all right, now am I hearing myself again? Now I'm not hearing you.
How are we?
Oh, now I hear you. And I don't hear me. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Lori. Now, Laura, we're going to be in great shape. So tell everybody about who you are, Laura.
Oh, goodness. What happened now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect.
Jason?
Can you hear me?
Good
All right.
until we weren't.
All right. Call her back, Chris. All right. Well, give me another question real quick. So that's the deal. And I'm sorry, everybody. Holy cow. I've got nerves of steel because I'm not even really that upset about it. So remember, last week, Troy Belt also consider Christy Randolph and Jay, if you're living in Henderson County, Kentucky, get off the couch. You know, if there's somebody that you feel like voting for, then it's not going to happen unless you get out and vote. And you have to vote for them this next week, especially for Troy. They're not going to have another vote for him. This is it. It's between him and the incumbent. And I don't even know what that guy's name is, but it's between him and the incumbent. And I think the guy's like he's almost 80. I think he's 78 years old. And I think that it's probably not a bad idea to actually look at somebody that could possibly, make some differences. Consider, if the guy hasn't done anything in a long time, then maybe you should look outside of that and try to go somewhere else. So if you have another question, feel free to give it to me. Let's see. Yeah, I love seeing people from all over as well. And I think somebody said that, and that's great. I'm really, really sorry tonight's happening like this. And if you look at me and I look tired, it's because I am. I'm really wore out. And the day when I can actually completely sever myself from the homicide cases and the unit is going to be a great day. I've still got to do some stuff with respect to that. And I've got some cases. Unfortunately, usually when a detective leaves from that unit, they have an opportunity to shore up their cases. They have a few months to do that, and I wasn't given that opportunity. So usually they don't have to be in the rotation, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to have to still do some stuff on the side to make sure that all that stuff works. And we'll see. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get her on here and we can start talking to her and stuff. I know it's not even it shouldn't be anything really big to do, but what I was going to say earlier is that I had asked people the last week. I said, hey, listen, we're really close to the 4,000 mark. I think it was last week. And man, people showed up. I've got like almost 4,400 subscribers now. I love it. And hopefully this is going to work. Can you hear me, Laura? Can you hear me now?
Okay, let's see. Jason,
All right.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
And I can't hear you at all.
All right. Well, let's see here. Danny, I'm going to send you a link if you want to come on, and maybe you can help me out a little bit here, and we'll send Danny a link. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get him something. But hey, the police car that I'm driving is a 2001. And it's got like 80,000 miles. It drives pretty good. I'm still trying to get my ear for the actual radio to be able to understand how all that works and so forth. And that's something that the multitasking that we have to do, and when you're driving down the street and you're trying to type in stuff, and I'm still trying to get stuff hooked up so I can run people, run tags. Another thing that's changed that we didn't have back in the day is now we have the ability to actually look at people's driver's licenses and actually look at their driver's license photo. And that's pretty incredible because we didn't have that ability to do that and so forth. And I'm just throwing you on the spot, Danny. If you want to join me, you're welcome to. You don't have to. But if you want to join me, we can have a chat. But let's see. Hopefully you got that. But that's kind of it. That's my week, and I will tell you this much: I'm exploring options, and I don't know what those options are. I'm exploring different options, and we'll see. I don't know that this is exactly what I want to do the rest of my career. So, you know what? I might just look elsewhere, and that's kind of what I'm kind of looking at. And I don't know what we'll do, but we'll figure something out. What those options are. I'm exploring different options, and we'll see. I don't know that this is exactly what I want to do the rest of my career. So,
hey, Jason.
I might just.
Danny, mute your YouTube, please.
Kind of what I'm kind of looking at, and
I'm here.
I don't know what we'll do, but we'll figure something out. Okay.
All right. Am I in?
Yeah, you're in. I can hear you.
Okay. I don't have my headset.
No, that's all right. You're good. All right. So I don't know why I'm hearing myself. I think that's on her end and so forth. So how was your week? Hopefully you had a good week. How did paramedic work change in the last week? Probably not at all.
Not at all. It got worse, I think. I didn't give out any autographs, but
No.
It was a good, busy week.
Well, good. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one for the books. Yeah, I know it's a very simple fix. So hopefully, Chris or Amanda, you guys can figure out why we're hearing me. in the background, and I know it's not we do this all the time, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually we don't have a hitch, but it's one of those weird deals. And I think that while I was hearing myself, honestly, anyway, I don't know. Hey, what'd you think of that Murtaugh case? You know what I'm talking about, right? That thing in South
I
Carolina.
do. I heard about that. It's coming back out today. That's pretty crazy. I didn't really follow it a whole lot until the very end, but I'm gonna get back into it now for sure.
Oh yeah. All right. All right. Let's bring Laura in and see if this works this time.
Is she here?
Oh, thanks for the question, Laura.
I'm here. There we
Okay,
are.
I hear you, and I'm not hearing me, so that's good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can
Okay,
hear-
we're rocking and rolling. Okay,
I swear the universe is working against us.
that's all right. Hey, listen, it's all right. We got plenty of time. Don't worry, no worries. I want to thank
Good.
everybody for hanging in there and not dropping off on us. I want to introduce you to Danny Couples. He's a critical care paramedic
Hey,
from
Laura.
the middle of
Danny.
Tennessee. Yeah, the middle of Tennessee. And what I'd kind of asked you early on is, hey, introduce yourself to the audience and tell us who you are and your background. To start with, how you pronounce your last name.
Okay. I'm Lora Teutsch. As you can see, it's Teutsch, but it is not pronounced Teutsch. It's pronounced touch. So it's German. I'm from Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm also a certified first responder counselor. I'm also an EMDR provider. I work with the Shreveport Police Department, the Shreveport Fire Department with their critical incident training. But what I'm most excited about is I've been recently hired by the Benton Fire Department as their mental health consultant. So we're creating a mental health initiative that is going to revolutionize mental health in the first responders. So I'm super, super excited about that.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love it. So apparently they're doing a lot in the state of Louisiana to make a priority to the mental health of first responders, right?
I hope so, because it's very much needed.
It is needed. It is needed. And when I came on the police department 28 years ago, it really wasn't talked about at all. You just sucked it up and you went on and so forth. And anyway, I don't know. I think that's great. So let's talk a little bit about this. Now, your husband's a
And
firefighter.
somehow
You don't have to
I've
mention
lost
reason.
you again, Jason.
All right. Well,
Well,
can you hear me?
okay. Now with
can-
Danny back on, now I'm good.
Hey, I'm here.
Danny,
I'm not going
all right.
anywhere. I'm
I don't
staying
know
right here.
when your screen went down, Danny. Then Jason, I couldn't hear Jason.
Well, I had to get off to get my hat
Uh.
on. 'Cause I didn't want anybody to see my head.
Gotcha.
Let me tell you both something real quick. This is kind of interesting. So I was a guest on a podcast.
Can you hear Jason, Danny?
Yes,
I cannot hear Jason.
yes, I can hear him loud and clear.
Okay.
I cannot hear Jason at all. But I can
All
hear
right.
you.
This is
Okay,
shocking. We've never had a problem on this show ever.
never, ever. This is the first time.
Oh God.
Can you hear me okay, Jason?
Can you hear me now?
And I can hear Danny and I can't hear Jason.
Still.
All right. Chris, give her a call and find out what the
Hey,
heck is
hey,
going on.
Jason.
Yeah. This is StreamYard for you. Let me tell you something.
Hey,
We're not sponsored by StreamYard, but StreamYard has it's got some ironing out to do. Believe me, I'm not overly impressed with it, but it is what it is. It's what we use. So what were you going to say, Danny?
I was once she gets on here, ask her about New Com. You remember that?
Oh no, I'm going to. Yep, absolutely.
I
Thank you for bringing that up, man.
I actually ordered it and I'm using it every day.
Good. Is it helping you?
It absolutely does. It's amazing, man.
All right.
I did an ocean sound today, and I woke up. I thought I was on the beach.
All right. Well, I'm going to mention. We'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll describe it because she may not even know anything about it.
Yeah.
So this is really bizarre. I don't know why she can't hear me, but she can hear you, and I don't know.
She tried her computer first, right, and then went to her phone.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know what's going on today, don't you? Down in McNairy County, Beaufort Pusser.
Oh, is that going on today?
That's today. I was supposed
Yeah.
to go, but I got tied up and I couldn't go.
You know, Danny, sometimes I think I am on a Hawaiian island called Waimea. And it really, I think I'm in the middle of it, buddy, right now. But anyway, listen, you missed out on a really interesting speech by Troy Bell in Kentucky, and I didn't
wanted
really
to
get it.
go.
Let me tell you, I'll tell you
Yeah.
something. He really killed it. He did a good job,
I believe
and he really, man, I've seen him grow as a personal speaker. I mean, like a public speaker. I've seen him grow in that capacity, and he did really well. I was really impressed.
I'm going to go up
And-
and meet him. I haven't met him personally, but I've talked to him on here and on Facebook. But he seems like a great guy. I know he'll get that. I know he's nervous, but
Yeah.
he just seems like he's the right guy for the job. I don't know the other guy, but sounds like he's been in there for a long time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, somebody asked, I think it was Steph asked how my son was doing. He's still in the academy. So that's good. I won't go any further than that. My son was like, hey, don't mention anything about it. But I'm like, he goes, if they ask, that's fine. And I'm like, well, yeah, he's still there. So that's good. They've completed week 10 and week 11 is up next. And it's a 24-week academy and he's still there. So that's good. And I'm incredibly proud of him to the point of almost being in tears from time to time when I think about it.
Yeah.
As to how proud I am. And it doesn't matter what's going on in my world and all the adjustments. I'm learning how to be a cop, like out of the gate. And I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, I told them I wanted a training officer for like a month or two. That's what I said. I want to ride along with somebody for like a month or two. That lasted 2 days before I said, that's it. I'm riding on my own. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna fall on the sword, and that's what I'm doing. I have been riding on my own Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, the dealing with people, I can handle that.
Yeah.
There was a guy today who was a little bit challenging that I had to kind of get firm with. Believe me, I was like, dude, I do not want to arrest you. I'm telling you, hit the road, buddy. I'm looking to do as little as possible here. So go.
This is not your first rodeo.
Oh, yeah. You're fired from this job. You need to leave now. Okay. And don't pass go on your way around, buddy. Get out of here. And
Hey, is it like riding a horse or falling off a horse? You can get back on and just keep on trucking, I guess. Is it? I know a lot's changed with the body camera. You have to really be careful what you say, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, they when they're watching my videos of how I'm dealing with people, is they're going to say, oh my gosh, this guy's so nice. Because really, I'm just a nice cop. I like people. I like interacting with people. I will chat with them. I will, whatever. But it is what it is. And hopefully we're going to be able to get her figured out and bring her on. But if not, we're going to have I know what I was going to talk about. So let me mention this. So I was a guest on a podcast, and this is the difference. And this is where I want to be one day. This would be cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're familiar with the show The Simpsons, okay, The Simpsons, it's been on for 40 years. Okay, Bart Simpson. What's the mom's name? I can't remember. It starts with an M, I think. I can't remember. If you know it, throw it in the comments. No, it's not mom. It's like it's not mom, but I don't remember. So if you're a Simpson aficionado, Lisa from The Simpsons, she's been the voice. She's the little girl. She's been the voice of that character, and I think she's the voice of a couple of others. I didn't ask her about it, but I actually was on that. I was on their podcast, and it's called Small Town Dicks. And I know that's a weird name, so don't. The term dicks refers to detectives from way back. Thank God they don't call us that anymore, man. I would not be down for that, but I'm not a detective anymore, so they can call them dicks if you want. I don't care. Right. But what I'm getting at is that's a term that they used to use for old school detectives. Yeah. And so it's a podcast that she's had on there for a while. She's actually, her name is Yardley Smith. And she's been an actress in forever. I mean, she's been in As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson and man, a number of movies. I mean, I couldn't even begin to recite all of them, but she's been in the business for 40 years as a voice actress. And she lives in LA, and how they do it is they send you, I got sent a freaking, I don't know what they call them. It's one of those Pelican boxes that has all the equipment in it. They sent me a laptop, the mic, all the cords. And then they have a guy out of San Francisco that called me up I'll give him a shout out. That's Logan. He calls me up. We set this thing. He made sure I had it all set up appropriately. And they do that because they want the sound, just like what we're dealing with tonight. They want to make sure that they control all of that, and it's perfect. And there's a guy. No, it's not live. It's gonna air. I talked about 2 different cases, and the 2 different cases that I spoke of, they're gonna air 2 different episodes, and it'll be sometime in the fall. I don't know, but I'll let everybody know when that happens.
Yeah,
but Yardley Smith is her name, and she's a big deal. I mean, and matter of fact, her husband was telling me, and I don't know if we didn't talk about it with her, but her husband said, yeah, when I'm in LA, if I come to LA, that I certainly got a seat to go watch one of their readings of one of their episodes, which would be really awesome.
That'd be cool.
And how cool would it be if they created a character of Detective White as a cartoon character and let me read a little bit too? Wouldn't that be awesome? But I'm not expecting that, but that would be pretty cool to have happen. So I see Chris is here. Did she's still working on it or what? Okay, good. She's working on it. So we're going to work on that. But as we're talking here, so that was pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. I did that a couple of days ago. Yeah, I want to look. No, I'd have to look more like a Simpson character than that, Amanda. That looks too realistic. That looks too realistic.
I'll take care of that.
And Danny, I'll tell you what. The other thing with AI and so forth, I'll mention something about AI. Isn't it something where you can do all these different things and write songs and things like that. But all these characters that Danny has sent me, because he sent me a handful of them, like that one that he's done on his AI. Do you subscribe to that? Is that like a freebie or what?
I do. I don't pay for like the high price one. I pay the low price one, and able to do a lot with it. You remember I changed how quick it was that I changed your cup around. I mean, it was like, it's amazing. You just put what you want in there and bam, it does it.
Okay. So do you have like a limit that how many you can do in a month or something or a week?
If I do, I haven't hit that limit yet. So
okay. So what's something like this cost for the cheap version, since you're cheap?
$19 a month, about $19 a month.
Well, that's expensive.
Yeah. How you gonna tell my wife? She don't know that. But
yeah. Well, what's the expensive version cost?
Probably about $40.
Yeah. If you're in the chat room and you know of a really cool AI thing that we need to look at, I'll tell you what. If you want to have some fun, just go to a site called Songer, Songer. Go to that one and just throw in some different lines and stuff like that and different words, and it'll put a song together for you. For free.
Did my song our song?
No, I wrote yours. Yours.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, it was the Cat and the Fiddle and it was a good song. But and by the way, how is Dory? She's doing good.
She's doing good. She's like day by day, but she's doing okay. She's doing. I thanks for asking too. How's Tina doing?
She's mean as a snake. She hasn't changed. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
She must be in another room.
Now we got the grandson here tonight, so she could care less about me. So, but anyway, so that was kind of neat. So they sent that whole thing here, and then it was professional. And so I sent that back. The thing weighed probably weighed 60 pounds. God only knows what the shipping cost on that thing. But nevertheless, did that. So I'll be looking for that in the future. I'll tell people about it. And
absolutely. That'll be fun to watch.
So I see Carrie says that your husband gets into trouble on his body camera from his mouth, for his mouth or whatever. You know what? What rank did I return to on the streets is what Adam's asking. Well, you know what? A detective and officer on our department, we don't get paid any different. It's the same. It's this detectives on our department. I know on a lot of other departments, they're actually sergeants that or a detective rank. Like, look, for instance, if you go to NYPD, New York City Police Department, they actually have detectives different grades. And so when you get to detective first grade, you've hit the top of the mountain of the detectives, and that's a big deal. Those very few of those guys make it to first grade detective.
Ed Wallace was up there, wasn't he?
Yeah, we had Ed Wallace on the show, and Ed Wallace was a first detective first grade, and that's the top of the mountain as far as that goes. I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to twist the arm of Frank Serpico to come on here. Frank Serpico was played by Al Pacino in a movie in the early 70s. And I've messaged him back and forth. We follow each other on X, also known as Twitter. Mm-hmm. And, when I asked him initially, he's like, yeah, I really don't do that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
No.
Yeah, well, you really need to. I mean, I really would like to get him on here because he's actually almost 80,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say he's gonna be old.
he's sharp as a tack, man. I'm telling you, this guy's sharp as ever. But I'd love to get him on here to talk about kind of the corruption that happened back in NYPD back in the day. And he was one of those people that really broke that wide open. If you're looking for a movie to watch, and I don't know if it's on, I don't think it's on Netflix. I know that it's probably on something, but it's Serpico. Just check out Serpico. It's a cool movie to watch, and that would be something to watch. But I am talking to him. I'm trying to get him here. At least right now, it's open for a dialogue, and I'm going to try to get him to come on here. And I know Chris would probably love that too. Frank Serpico is a big name in the world of corruption and policing. Somebody asked me, what do I watch to relax?
First 48.
I tell you, no, I don't. That doesn't make me relax. Not right now, anyway. I'll tell you. I was on Thursday night though. I had an episode on after the first 48. So if you didn't catch it, look that one up. It was the last episode they had on Thursday, and so check it out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. Just for the people they ask me all the time, what happened, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to write a book about it. Believe me, and I'm going to tell all. I'm a very honest person to a fault, and I don't sugarcoat nothing. But what I was going to say is I'm going to write about it someday. I really will, and that'll give me a motivation to do it. It was a good episode. You know what? That mother that was on there, the mother of Phaedro, who was the victim in that deal. If you didn't see it, I don't want to keep people lost on this, but the lady that you see there, it's the mother. I actually ran into her at Walmart, and over by where I live, she lives over kind of close to me. So I ran into her in Walmart one afternoon, and I told her, I said, man, I think you ought to do that after. I really do. I think it'd be great. I think, it was Marge Simpson. Is the name of the mom. It's Marge.
Marge.
But let me tell you, I'm jumping around a little bit. Yardley, the one that I was on there, we spent like 4.5 hours together on this thing, doing this whole thing. It's quite the production. Seriously, it's impressive. And one of the detectives that was in there, I'm like, man, I know this guy. I don't know where I know that guy's voice, and he looks kind of familiar to me. And he had said something like, I haven't seen you. I've seen some episodes of the first 48, and I just hadn't seen you. And so I said, well, man, you must have been living under a rock. I mean, I'm on like one out of every 5. But then that's when Yardley goes, well, he doesn't know who you are either, buddy. And actually, it turns out, I'm like, you know what? I was looking him up because I'm like, this guy is somebody. And actually, he was a detective on he's the guy that basically started. I don't know if he was crime scene or what the deal was, but he was involved in the Golden State Killer in California. So he's a very prominent detective. He's retired now, but he's prominent. And so it was and he's the guy that's standing in the middle next to Yardley. And so he's the guy right in the middle, and that's the crew. The guy on the far right, that's going to be Yardley's husband. He retired from a police department in Oregon. And I can't remember what the other guy does over on the other end. I didn't look him up yet, but it's a lot of fun. If you're looking for another podcast just to check out, there she is. That's Lisa Simpson, and that's Yardley. And she's been on there for 40 years. Can you imagine? I would love a job like that where I could just read stuff. And my goodness,
that would be cool. When was that?
It is pretty cool. It's another famous person I know, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah. When was that Golden State Killer case? That was like 10 years ago.
Well, no, not the murder. What the Golden State Killer case is what you're referring to. The Golden State Killer case is a serial killer from the Sacramento area. And he was doing bad stuff. I don't remember the years that he was really active, but about 10 years ago is when they did forensic investigative genealogy, which is also known as FIG. And they did his DNA. And the thing I'll just kind of tell people about what happened since we're killing time. I don't know what in the heck happened to her. I'm really, really sad by this because she was great. But what ended up happening on that deal was, this is kind of an interesting thing that people might not know. The forensic genealogist on the Golden State Killer, by the way, he was a cop. The guy that was doing all these crimes was a cop. And that's not well, I think he was doing some of this while he was a cop, back in the day. So, but he was off of the force when they ended up arresting him. He was an old guy. But what happened was that the forensic investigative genetic genealogist, which happens to be a great career, we've had one of those on the show. What they ended up doing is what they ended up doing with her is she ended up sending in the DNA as if it was her own to 23andMe. And that's a big no-no, ladies and gentlemen. 23andMe, Ancestry.com, whatever site it is that's does forensic genealogy. I can't remember the other ones, but
23andMe is the one that they did it on.
well, they did it on 23andMe. Yeah, but there's not like a, law enforcement, we don't have access to those sites. So
Right.
if you were to submit your DNA to one of these different sites, we as a cop do not have access to those. However, if you've submitted, like Phyllis, I'm going to take Phyllis for an example, or who in this room has submitted their DNA. I'm just curious. Mention, have you? I have too.
In New York when I did it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, Serpico is a legend. I'm seeing that. Trap House. Somebody said that they're watching the episode Trap House right now. Lee, let me tell you something. Trap House is one of my favorites. I hated that case when it was happening. What's cool about Trap House is he's watching it. Hopefully you got it on pause so you can really focus on it when you get off here. But Trap House, I'll just tell you something about that case, which is really awesome. If you're looking for a good episode to watch, Trap House is the one. I was on fire in that episode, man. It was like everything I said was right. I looked like a freaking genius in that episode. I really did. I looked like a superstar genius, like I was just brilliant, and I kind of was. In that one, I was like, "Yep, you're lying. Yep, you're lying." I was right every single time. But no, that's a good one.
Genetic genealogy is how we solved our cold case.
Yeah, man, it's big.
One of the FBI agents from that Golden State Killer actually came to our area, came into our office, and didn't talk a lot about it, but she was part of that case. But that's how genetic genealogy. We worked this case from 2012. It was a 50-year-old case, cold case, and genetic genealogy is what solved it. We got a sister match on it, and that's crazy.
Well, and it's not quite that simple, Danny. It takes. I mean, it's like you would think it'd be that easy. Oh, okay, here's the family line. Let's just find where our killer is. No. It's a lot more complicated than that.
We've got one that we're working. We're having when they give you a third or fourth cousin match to try to track down. Man, I tell you, do you know who your third or fourth cousin is? I mean, it's really hard to pull that back because you have people that are adopted. Some may not even know their parents are their parents, or they could not be their parents, and that just blocks that tree when you're trying to track them back.
Yeah.
So genetic genealogy is tough, but we got lucky on our case.
I'm messaging Lora. She's sick about this. She's really upset, and I'm upset for her.
Is she talking to you? Is she messaging you?
Oh, she's sick. She doesn't want to show her face again, but she's embarrassed. But the thing is, listen, we might try this again next week. But what we might do is that Chris, when you're listening in, and I see you're sitting there, and Amanda's too, maybe we'll just have her come in like 30 minutes early the next time. We'll just iron out whatever's going on and figure it out or something. It can't be that complicated. It can't. But I will say this: we had an episode. Well, we tried to get Rick Duggan on here from Dallas. And he had an Apple laptop, which for whatever reason, he's not the first one that's ever come on here with a laptop that's an Apple.
That's what I
use. Well, it wouldn't work. For him, it would not work. And it wouldn't work. I don't know what the deal was. And then his phone wouldn't work either. So this isn't the first time that this has happened. And there's been somebody else that was like that too. And I'm trying to think of who that was because they were. Oh, it's Gary Nessner, the lead negotiator. The lead negotiator for Wake Up, and he's a friend of mine too. And knock it off. And why not? Just we're gonna have everybody get involved in tonight's episode. But anyway, so Gary Nessner would have been great. I would have loved to have him on here, but he says, my computer's not working with this StreamYard thing. I don't know what the deal is. And so I think that with Rick Duggan from Dallas Homicide. I think part of that is operator error because he's from a generation like I'm from, and he is not technologically savvy at all. But I don't know. But so the 23andMe, and somebody said that JP said that they'd sent theirs into 23andMe. 23andMe is currently under bankruptcy, and so they're looking to sell. But and I don't know if this is true or not. I'd kind of heard this. I kind of heard that this is some stuff that had happened. but that they used the same forensic genealogist. And I said this in front of a DNA expert somewhere. Where was I? I was in North Carolina from Bodie. And they were like, yeah. I said, did I say anything wrong? And they're like, nope. And it had something to do with, I think that the thing in Idaho, in Moscow, Idaho, where, what's his name again? Kohlberger.
Yeah.
Where Kohlberger killed those 4 students,
That
that they hired the same forensic genealogist, and I think that she did the same thing, and that's why there was a lot of motions being written on it. You can't do that. So, anyway, godly,
this,
deliver
FBI agent actually worked on that case as well. She worked on both of those cases.
Did she? All right. Oh, really? Okay. So, yeah, I think you were talking to her about possibly coming on here, right?
Right.
So, and then there's somebody else. Do what?
You are her fan. She really wants to meet you. So that'll be good.
You mean she's my fan?
That's what I meant. You know what I meant.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool, and I love it. So Tina made a delivery, and she probably requested it right in the middle of when I'm doing my podcast. So we got that going on too. This has been a fun night. It's been exciting. I don't know really what to say.
Pizza's here.
No, it's Walmart delivery.
Now that going back on my case, I know I'm gonna jump on it one more time because when our girl was found in 1974, all it was is skeletal remains, and when the forensic anthropologist over in the university here, actually that I work for, on child and infant death cases, he was working on the remains from Monterrey, Mexico, from the Mexican-American War, and he was identifying soldiers. And I asked him if he could help me with our case, and that's when we talked about the Golden State Killer case and how they're working on genetic genealogy, and let's use genetic genealogy to try to solve yours. Well, I left at the job I was doing. The detective I was working with also retired. We came back, and then they picked it up, and when they put it in the system, it wasn't long at all that we got a match. But the other cases that we're working on, it is ridiculous. We cannot. All we get is a third or fourth cousin, and it's hard to track back. You're right.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Not easy.
Hey, I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to mention something we were going to discuss tonight. And I got to apologize to everybody. Sometimes this happens, and I'm not going to get all worked up about it. I've been worked up about many other things this week. I don't need any more stress. But I'm going to tell you right now that one of the things that you might want to consider looking into, and this is what Laura's going to talk about. Maybe we can get her on next week. Oh, well, if she'll do it, she may be like, I just can't do it. But I really want her to come on because she's absolutely awesome. She's a wonderful lady, and I love her. But so these things right here. This is one of the things we were going to talk about. Oh. And what? Did I show you these? I think I showed you these, Danny. So this is called an anxiety ring. Okay, you can go to Amazon and you can buy these. And what these are for is that basically you take these things. They're like a little wire ring, but you just run them up and down each finger. And what this does is this lowers your blood pressure. And it lowers your pulse rate, your heart rate, and they're very inexpensive. You can buy like 30 of these for like, I don't know, $5 maybe. And I'm going to start buying these. And when I'm speaking across the country, I'm going to start bringing a bag of them and I'm going to hand them out because these are really, really, really useful. And I had never heard of these until I heard Lora speak. And I tried it and I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool. So let's talk about something else real quick. I want to mention this. Danny had mentioned something about, it's called New Wave. And it's in, Newcom. I'm sorry. Thank you. Newcom. And it's NUCALM. Newcom. Okay. So Danny came up there and watched me speak. And I was speaking at the North Carolina Homicide Investigators Association conference in Cherokee, North Carolina. And one of the vendors that was there was this Newcom. I've never heard of them. I've been to conferences all over this country. I have never heard of these guys before. And in the room, they had like five zero gravity chairs. No, I don't even know if they were that. They were just kind of a chair that you could literally raise your feet up on, and they give you a blanket, and they give you some headphones, and you start listening to some music. And so they talked to, at first there was nobody that would go in there, and none of those homicide guys would go into the room. And so the guy ended up, talking a little bit about it and so forth. He says, hey, those are in there for you guys to go check out and put on. It's free. Didn't cost anything. And so when I went in there and I put these headphones on, I'm sitting there. They'd let you sit there and listen to the headphones for about 20 minutes. The girl did not say anything about, she didn't say anything about whether you close your eyes, you open them, whatever. She just said, just lay back and just listen to the music. So I'm thinking, man, I'm going to try to go to sleep here. This is going to be great. And I couldn't go to sleep. I don't know if you did or not. My wife, of course, fell asleep like nobody's business, but you really aren't supposed to. This was for increased energy, right?
Right.
Okay. You have like 3 different types. One of them is for sleep at night, the increased energy, and something else. And as I was watching it, my experience was this, Danny. As I'm sitting there watching this, literally, after about 10 minutes of this thing, nothing had really happened. I've got my eyes closed, and then all of a sudden, I'm seeing a tree that looked like the tree on the back of Daniel LaRusso's gi in Karate Kid. And I'm seeing this tree, and in between the branches was like purple clouds. They were like going through this tree, and I'm like, wait a second, this is weird. They're unlocking something in my brain. Actually, what they do is it's supposed to get inside your parasympathetic nervous system, and it does get inside your brain. This is patented stuff, supposedly, right? They've got like patents on this stuff. So it has to.
And it's global. It's all over the world. They show you when you go on the site how many minutes is being used today. It's like a billion minutes, and it is phenomenal. What it did for me, it was. I didn't get to do it there. You remember we went in and they were out to lunch or something, but I did it when I got home, and it comes with what is that? Like a mask, a sleep mask, and everything's got to be black. And what I saw, Jason, I don't think I talked to you, but and it's about 15 minutes in, 10 to 15 minutes is when your brain starts it's kind of like rebooting a computer, I guess you might say. It kind of reboots your brain. And I started seeing like the Northern Lights. It was just like, and it just appears and it just like calms you down. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And I'm gonna go get those. I'm gonna have Tina go get me those eye things to just.
Yeah, I was going to walk over there and get them, but I didn't want you to think that my computer was broke down.
All right. So the thing what I'm talking about here, and let me tell Amanda, because I'm gonna have Amanda throw something up about it. But there she is. Oh, that's what it is. So if you go to this site right here, it's called Newcom, and let's say you want better sleep. Let's say you want better energy. And listen, I don't get anything from this company. As a matter of fact, the president of this company, the CEO, he's going to come on this show. He's coming on. I don't have a date for him, but he's going to come on probably in the next few weeks, etc. And okay, so Lora has agreed that she'll come on. We'll try this again next week, maybe, but we'll just do it. Okay, so you've got some. So show Danny real quick. Does it enhance sleep, recovery, focus, and energy? And each one is different. It's a different type of. And here's the things here too. So it comes with, you get some of these, and then and they were giving these things out. These things disappeared real quick. But after this thing went on for a day, man, there was a line of cops that were waiting to go in there and do this. So I told you that was my vision. This is what I was visualizing, and I'm like, holy cow, I don't know what's going on here, but man, something that they've unlocked something. Oh, and by the way, many sports teams. That's the Chicago Blackhawks. 79
different major sports teams use.
Yeah, pro sports teams from the Chicago Blackhawks, and they started winning, and all these different, because what it does is it just relaxes you, and it is a lot of relaxation. It helps you, and I don't know what. Hey, Danny, what's that costing you? Tell me what that costs. I'm curious.
I think it's around $19 a month for the low end. Again, when you spend more, it gives you more access to different sounds per se.
Yeah. So I'm telling you guys about this because I did it the one time and I thought, all right, this is weird. And I asked the lady, I said, hey, this is what I was seeing. Is this normal? And she goes, everybody sees something different. And so I was like, okay. So I went back in there the next time and I started seeing the same thing. It was very vivid. then I was like, well, they've unlocked something here. And I felt great both after doing it both times. The third time, it was like looking at a kaleidoscope of colors. And I was like, and that just tells me there's probably a lot of damage up in my brain from some stuff I've seen, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll just admit it. I'm sure I've got PTSD to an extent. I think if you do anything like this for as long as I have, you're going to have it.
Yeah.
Look that side up, ladies and gentlemen. I think it would be something that I think that's something that you ought to.
They studied it for 19 years, I think, for neuroscientists around the world. So this is not something they just came up with like over the last year. They've been studying this for years and years. And I brought it up with our peer support team to hand it out as a resource for our people with this being really stressed out or had some PTSD or whatever. But
yeah,
it really helps. This is a cool thing. It really is.
Well, I'll tell you, my first thought, and I told him this very thing. I said, when I was sitting there through this thing, I said, man, I was a skeptic. I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll see, until I sat in that chair and I was like, well, I don't know what the heck's going on, but something's happening. And it was for increased energy is what we were listening to at this conference. Yeah. And I believe it or not, man, I wasn't dozing off during other people's presentations. I was literally, not that I do anyway, but I was really, really in good shape. And that's what those things look like. Seriously, they're great to have. I've been wearing those at night. I thought the things were like, there had to be something in them making me see these crazy things, but it wasn't. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's something, you came here tonight. You didn't know that you were going to get it. Thanks for bringing that up, Amanda. You came here tonight. You didn't think that you were going to get anything. You thought it was just going to be a comedy of errors. But this is something that's worth the weight in gold because
absolutely.
What's the high end of you need to research it, Phyllis. I'm not kidding you.
48 bucks. It's pretty high. I mean, as far as high end, it's cost.
Yeah, but it's unlimited. And you can do everything. You do the whole suite of things. And I may end up doing that. I don't know. What did you say? It was 48 bucks a month, maybe?
I think so. It's different prices, but I'll tell you what I did, and not everybody's got one of those massage chairs, but I use it along with my massage chair because it gets you in that zero gravity position. And I know it's not supposed to put you to sleep, but you'll end up going to sleep. But it's something when you do wake up, if you do go to sleep, it's just amazing. It absolutely is.
Hey, Chris, or Amanda, why don't we throw up the phone number and we'll take a caller? Somebody from the chat room. Why don't we just take a question from somebody? You can ask me or Danny or both. If you're interested in literally coming on the show. Actually, we were going to have a guest. Believe it or not, I almost brought my guest from Ireland, Northern Ireland. She was going to come on, and I can't remember what happened. Something happened, and she couldn't do it. She was like, "I want to come on your show," and I'm like, "Well, you gotta come on about 1 or 2 in the morning because that's what time it is there when we come on live." And she was going to do it, and for some reason she backed out on me. So I was like, I have to know, and I have to. Vegas. Now I'm seeing Sherry. Is it Sherry or Sherry saying Vegas system reset? I don't know if it's got that. I don't know if it says that it does stuff like that. Maybe it does. I don't know. Thank you, Teresa. You're very kind that you've loved the show tonight. I tell you what, I really value everybody's time that comes in here. I do. And I enjoy the fact that you guys come on here. I don't like taping episodes. When I first started this a long time ago, I was really, really concerned. Throw that phone number up, Amanda. If somebody wants to call in, they can.
Yeah.
If we're set up for it, we may not be.
Some things you can ask me about too is one of my expertise is I know it sounds kind of morbid, but death investigation, child and infant death investigation. I'm working on the law right now to try to help that from critical care paramedic to cold case to death investigation. I can debate. I really can't debate on critical care paramedic stuff, but if it falls under medical examiner system, I'll stand up with anybody any day. And that's just because I have studied this. I've become board certified in that field.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you all day about that.
Yeah. If you want to talk to us and ask us a question straight up, if you want to ask us a question personally, call that number. We'll bring you on. My Aunt Sharon, she submitted her DNA. That's great. So I guess I made her, if I ever thought about killing somebody, I made her take that off the table because they would catch me But I've already submitted mine too. I'm not really worried about it.
Well,
Somebody in here said something earlier. They said something that they submitted to the through the military, and they do that. They do that too. We don't automatically get access to those databases, but we could get access to them. But we have to work a little harder to do that. Let's see.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know.
New York, they solicited. I don't know what day it was, but they came and asked a lot of us if we didn't mind volunteering to put our DNA in the system. And
Yeah, no, there's a couple of other databases. You bring up something. There's 2 other databases. I think it's 2, maybe 3, which are completely. You can opt in to allow law enforcement to do it and scan your DNA and what they're looking for is they're looking for your relatives is what's up. But I'm going to tell you something right now that it's going to hit a tipping point on those ones that are accessible to the I can't believe nobody's called yet. If you wanted to call, this is your chance.
Yeah.
You know, you can be on here for real.
maybe Laura called in.
Who?
The guest.
Oh,
What
was
was
it?
her name?
Oh, Lora.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to iron that out. We're going to try to bring her on next week probably, but next week or the week after, we'll see.
We'll talk.
But anyway, so my point is, I know, JP, let me tell you something. I've experienced plenty of them here on the show. But that's, I deal with it at work too. I mean, I've got a laptop in my car. There's constant things going on with it. I appreciate all your guys' kind comments. It really means a lot. Karen, thank you a lot that you say that are. Hey, by the way, what do you think if I was to change the name of this? I've got another name that I've had in mind, and it's called Beyond Homicide. And I'm thinking that's so appropriate. But I don't know. We may change it. I might change the graphics. I need to change the music. But for whatever reason, I didn't get slammed with a copyright thing this week. So maybe I'm not going to fire them just yet. But
Beyond Homicide is cool. I like that.
it is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see. If that's the worst thing that happens today. Amanda was pissed when she came in here too. You know why? Because I slapped her with a bunch of I had her saddled with a bunch of stuff to throw up there last minute. And it's all my fault, you know. I should have had this stuff ready to go. Oh, you like the new title. Thanks, Steph. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I do too. I think it makes sense and it sounds good.
Beyond Homicide.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a cool name.
Are you going to get a ghostwriter for your book, or are you just going to do it yourself?
I'll probably do it myself. I don't know.
I'm talking to some authors now that's written over 35 books. Actually, it's the one that wrote that book, Buford Pusser, Final Chapter.
Yeah.
And it's really intriguing. I may do it. I'm gonna talk to them about it. And it's a book about that case I was talking about earlier.
You know, and maybe I'll even name my book Beyond Homicide. That might be kind of cool.
That would work.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about that, but I tell you what I am going to do. There was a guy that I was talking to, and I've already got all the chapter names already written out. So there's a guy that I know that, and we're not going to keep you guys here all night because I just used my name, Jason White Podcast. Well, I could, but I didn't want to be like narcissistic about it.
Yeah.
The Jason White Show. I don't know. I don't know. I've told people about this before about how this show got named, and those of you that are new may not know it, but there's a band called Saving Abel they're actually touring right now, but there's a band called Saving Abel, and they've got a lot of songs like Addicted, and there's a mother load of songs that you probably have heard, but you didn't know that they sang it. And they came out with a new song called Fire, and I was like, that's the song. That's it. I want it. So when I had it, the whole band was jazzed up, man. They were all about it. And one of the guys' wives put a big fat no to it. But unfortunately, Chris DiPerno, who's been in and out of this room tonight behind the curtain, Chris goes, I need a name now, not yesterday, now, buddy. And I mean, like yesterday, I need a name now. And I was like, Into the Fire, because it was going to happen. And the band backed out on me and I got screwed. So that's kind of what's up. I don't know.
No callers, Jason.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to call. I'm not. That's fine. I get it. Okay. Jason White is now a franchise. I mean, come on, The Simpsons. Absolutely. Hey, yeah. I'm telling you, I've told people, and we're not going to be here all night, I promise. But I'm kind of having fun, just kind of. What do they call it? Yeah. What do we call that when you're just kind of improv-ing it?
Yeah, improv.
Yeah, this is improv.
Yeah.
So
We got good at this, Jason.
Somebody says that nobody's calling because it's all married ladies watching. Yeah, you never know.
Oh, come
You
on.
never
Oh,
I think I've told people this before that, it's 99% positive being a part of that show. And I was really honored to have been a part of it. And the thing of it is, I did have one stalker. I'm going to call her a bona fide stalker. And there was a second one that was kind of touching upon stalker tendencies. But the one I was like, yeah, you're not moving here. And you need to stop calling me and you need to stop sending me stuff.
Yeah.
And, my wife was like, where'd this come from? Do what?
Sick Tina on her. She'll take care of her.
Well, I don't blame her for being a stalker. I mean, I've got a magnetism about me, so I completely understood it. But I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. I mean, this young lady was liable to show up, seriously, and thankfully I managed to. And then I would block her on different sites, and she did a workaround, and she figured out other ways, and I could still tell it was her. So I was like, yeah, no, ready for a call or what? What, Amanda? Tell me what you're ready for.
Oh, there he is. There he is right there. That's
it. That is it. I love it. Except, Amanda, I probably need some glasses on my the glasses. That is freaking cool. Okay. I want that picture. That's awesome.
Yeah. I put it on a cup. Send it
I
to
need
me.
to look like, but I have to be a detective. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well done. See, that's AI for you.
Yeah.
So that's perfect, Amanda. That's the best thing you've done in a while. That was cool. Yeah. But and she does great stuff all the time. But that was pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, Homer's the dad, isn't it? Homer's the dad. But anyway.
I've got a guy who lives down the road. He just moved here from California. That's the voice of like Dora the Explorer and lots of other. I'm gonna go up and try to meet him. Maybe we can get him on here.
Yeah, we need to get Gary Sinise to come on here.
Oh man, I'm still trying. I have got some.
Who was that's Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
and he lives close to Danny.
Hey, Jason.
Yes.
We have a caller on the line.
Really?
All right, let's bring him on. Bring him on. Hey, who's the caller?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we still improving?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can ask a question. What do you want to do?
Go ahead.
Well, Jason, I still consider you Tulsa royalty with your statistics in the detective homicide.
Who is this?
This is Cherie Hoffmeyer.
Okay, you do, huh? Well, thank you for that. Thank you.
And I'm considering going out driving, so maybe I can get a ticket from you.
Stalker.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Cherie. You're gonna have to do something really bad for me to be stopping you.
That's not going to happen. No,
Well,
you and I have met once before.
Oh yeah, where at?
You took a witness statement from me. It's probably been, 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But I think you would remember because I reached over and touched you on your shoulder and we both jumped. Do you recall that?
I do not recall.
Really? Okay.
No, that was me. That was me. That wasn't Jason.
That was Jason.
Yeah.
You know what? I do vaguely remember that, and I'm trying to think. I don't want to bring up the case because you probably don't want it brought up.
No names.
Yeah, but I do vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I still consider you royalty.
Well, thank you, dear. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And as a matter of fact, let me retract that because I get reprimanded by the public across the world for using the term dear. And I'm like, well, we live in the South. It's normal. So, but no, listen, I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. Hey, Just Okie, where are you from? I think I've seen you in here before, but she's from somebody from Oklahoma. We'll probably get off here in about 5 minutes. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the call. I appreciate the kind words. That means the world. It really does.
And I hope you reach those numbers. I know you were looking for something by the end of the year, and I'm like,
no. Well, I was looking for 5,000 is what you're talking about. Yes. And yeah, we're getting there, man. I'll tell you what, the response I've had on some of these things, I throw some of these pictures and stuff up because it's fun, and sometimes I'm really shocked at how many people are actually checking them out. The picture, I'll just tell you, kind of just to give you the numbers. The picture that I put up on my Facebook page, my Detective Jason White Facebook page, feel free to follow me over there. I interact with people all the time. After I decided to leave, or after I was leaving Homicide, and I put the picture up in my office, I think I've gotten 4,000 new followers off of that, which is great. And so it's 4,000 more cool people, more friends. And anyway, the picture that I put up in the police car with my young training officer that I took Monday, that's had over 200,000 views on just that photo alone.
Awesome photo.
It is awesome, isn't it? I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Natalie's asking me how Leroy's doing. Well, Leroy's sitting right here behind me. The alligator is sitting right behind me.
Leroy.
It's still in the living room. It's still in front of the fireplace. And
Put an apple in his mouth.
Oh my goodness. It's been a pleasure to watch you and follow you. And I learned something about you the other day. I did not know that you were in CSI crime scenes before you went into.
yeah, I worked crime.
And I thought that was really.
Okay, well, that's good. That's a good question because I'm going to tell you something. Just for the people that don't know me, I did do crime scene for a year and a half before I joined Homicide. I'm one of the rare ones that came from crime scene to go to Homicide, and it's unusual for that to happen because a lot of people, they don't really consider that real detective work, and I think that that's pretty. I think that to not think that that's real detective work is pretty moronic, really. Yeah, because that
should actually be, required, maybe.
Should be.
Well, it should be. Actually, there's a lot of things that need to be required, but nobody cared what I thought. So, but I'll tell you what. Just to let everybody know, I'm not completely out of the world of Homicide. I'm not. So I'm still going to be involved in it in some ways. Absolutely, I'm still going to be a big part of the Homicide Investigators of Texas. I talked to one of the people from that organization, and I said, hey, hopefully that's not going to be a problem. And they said, "Are you kidding me? You're going to be here for many, many years. Don't worry about it. We love you." And
you're a franchise now.
Do what?
Jason White, you're a franchise now.
Mm.
Well, I like the sound of it. Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
The Simpsons? Come on.
I know. The Simpsons.
Yeah. How many other people, other detectives, get that opportunity? They came to you, Jason.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I've had a lot of great opportunities and so forth, and there's going to be many more coming. And I'm excited about it. I'll tell you what, I'm planning on having Cato Kalin from the OJ case coming on real soon. And he said he would do it. And I'm going to have him come on here. He's a friend, and he's not a great friend yet, but I'm going to make him a great friend because I'm really fascinated with his story. And he's a good dude. I like him. So
Murtaugh's case.
Sure it won't be difficult. Look, I won't keep you guys. I just wanted to stick my head in and say, hey.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate you coming in here. It means a lot. And I appreciate you subscribing and checking us out and spending your Friday evening with us. I really do. It means the world.
So thank you. Live. I'll let
thank
you go.
You so much. All right. Thanks for the call.
Bye-bye.
Now, see, I like that. That was a great call.
Cool.
We're 3 for 3 so far as far as the no wackos. We had one wacko in the show entirely. And we had a great person that was in here that was a super fan of the show. And he ended up running her off, and she was absolutely wonderful. She was always interactive and so forth, and I loved it. Natalie's saying something about Shreveport Police Department loves the victim pamphlets. Great, and that's awesome to hear. Thank you for that, man. Shreveport Police, right after that conference that Sunday morning, they got hit with. I think Natalie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was eight people were killed, and a lot of them were kids. It was a domestic related deal. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was a domestic related deal. And so I'll just kind of tell you how it came about with Cato is I happened to be working on a murder one night. I was at work and I was just sitting there. I kind of had a pause in the action. Cato's going to be freaking awesome. I love it. Matter of fact, when I'm going to be speaking in San Diego in September.
Cato.
I'll be speaking in San Diego in September and in October. I'll be in Lake Tahoe, so I'll be in California twice, but I'll be at a Corners conference, and I'm planning on going back to LA. I want to go back to LA. So if I do that, I'm going to try to meet him. I might even try to do it, or we could do it together. That would be really cool. But I don't know. Sometimes there's a lot of stress that goes with doing that. I've got to take all this stuff with me. It's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was addicted to it too. and the trial of the OJ case. It was great.
Everybody was.
I think we'll get off here in about 5 minutes. So,
Did you know
what?
that John Morgan from Morgan and Morgan owns Alcatraz East?
Oh, yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah, and he actually owns O.J. Simpson's Bronco and
Yeah.
Ted Bundy's that bug.
VW.
It was a bug that he actually killed women in, but it was one of his. It belonged to him. And all those things in there, the clown costume. Which killer was it that had the clown costume?
That's John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne
Yeah.
Gacy. He
Yeah.
owned, that's his. That's his. That belonged to him. And
Yeah,
reached
it's funny.
to come on the show. I don't know. You never know. And
Well, I think he probably will, and I hope you're going to be able to get him to. Did he ever not respond?
well, he didn't respond, but I did get it to where he would receive a message. He's a billionaire, so
No.
getting to actually talk to somebody like that. But I'm gonna keep trying, and who knows?
Yeah.
He could do it. That would be
Maybe
cool.
he'll even sponsor the show. That'd be great. So,
Yeah.
Hey, Just Okie, where are you from? I'm curious. Are you from here in Oklahoma? I'm sure you are, or maybe you. But I don't know. But he'd be cool to have on here. I'd love to have him on. And there's a few other people that I'm going to have on here too. And George Christie, I still got to get George Christie on. He's the second most well-known Hell's Angel on the planet, and he's retired from them now. I probably wouldn't be able to talk to him if he was currently with them, but certainly the gang wouldn't be going, yeah, sure, that sounds like a great idea. Go ahead and have a chat with a cop. But he's retired, and he's out there on the History Channel and stuff. And I've talked to him several times on the phone. He's a really interesting guy. Written several books. But no, I'm going to probably try to write it myself. So I kind of went off on a tangent real quick. So I'm going to mention this real quick. Oh, yeah. Sapulpa, you live in Sapulpa, and you're in Oak. Oh yeah, okay, great. So you're right down the road. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I really do. So I love the police department in Sapulpa. I've got a lot of good friends that work there, so they're good people. But what I was going to tell you is yeah, we're gonna have some good people coming on here, hopefully, and let us know. I mean, I know you guys have to prefer live episodes as opposed to the tape ones. There's just no way that you guys like those more. And if there's anything else, honestly, I just want to mention this real quick, Danny, that if you guys that are in this, there's cops that are in here. We've got Travis from Muskogee that joins us every now and then. I know that we have some people from East Palo Alto, California, that every now and again they've been on the show. They've been on, they every now and then they'll pop in here. Mm-hmm. I know Edward Montgomery, I think is his name. He's from that area, and he kind of keeps tabs with the show occasionally. And oh, by the way, I got to mention this too. What I was going to say is that if you're a police officer out there, or you know somebody that's got an extraordinary story, and you think that this would be a good fit for them to come on here to share that story, let me know. I mean, I just don't have like a catalog of people. I can just, I got to dig, and I got to find some people. And sometimes I find some off of LinkedIn and so forth. But let me know who they are, and hopefully we can get them on here. Yeah, there's a guy that do what?
Barbara Butcher.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to twist people's arms if they want to be on here. I'd like to have Caroline Mason. There's somebody that I knew her that was on a cruise ship with somebody that I know, and they were going to ask her, and I just never heard anything else from it. Joe Shalacy, he lives in Wichita. I mean, he's one of the OGs from Miami. I loved Freddie Ponce. Freddie Ponce was freaking the bomb. I love Freddie, but and I'd like to have Irvins Ford. Irvins Ford from Miami. He's probably my favorite, and I just haven't asked. I'm sure I could probably get him on here. Yeah. And there's a couple of other from the first 48. To tell you the truth, as far as Tulsa goes, probably not. I'm probably not. Maybe Ronnie. I might bring Ronnie on for a guest appearance, but the rest of them probably not. It's not because I don't like them. I like them. It's just that most of them have expressed zero interest in any of this. So I'm not going to go out of my way on it. I don't think they watch it, and if they're not going to watch it to be supportive, then why would I bring them on? So there's a guy in Cincinnati that I love, and I've tried to get him on here, and I'll probably reach out to him again. There's another guy in Cleveland, one of the old school Cleveland guys. I could call him because I have his number. I've talked to him before.
I've got a football player. I told you about him. He's very successful, very great guy. He was successful in college and in pros. Played alongside Tom Brady. And I know he'll come on if you want a sports guy that's really done well for himself.
Yeah. He's one. And now we're getting there. Now I tell you what,
we need one little hair on top there, man. Just like
listen, Amanda, Matter of fact, keep that up for a quick second. I'm going to take a picture of that because, first of all, I love it.
Oh, I got to take a picture of it too.
I'm loving it. What do you guys think in the audience? I think it's pretty close. If the glasses were up on top of my head, that may be better.
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah,
But that's pretty darn close, and I love it. And so that kind of made my night. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep you more on this Friday evening. I would love to. I could sit in here and talk for another hour, to be honest with you, but I'll spare you. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is not a show without you. I want to thank you, Danny, for stepping up. This would have been miserable for me to just sit in here. And matter of fact, I'd thought about, I've had so much stuff going on this week, dude. It's like the week that I get messages from the 6 people of 6 different states that they need something yesterday. And
that's
I'm
why
like,
I saw you this week. I knew you were.
dude, it's been brutal. I mean, just as far as I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning, and if anybody knows me personally, they know that dude, well, yeah, you used to message me at like 6 in the morning, and I'm like, I don't do 6 in the morning. You know what I mean? So I don't even do 4:30 in the morning. Trust me. But I like getting home at 2:30. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's really nice. But anyway, thank you so much, Karen. Russell, I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you. Phyllis, Danny, or Darren, my Aunt Sharon.
Where everybody was from, they were like putting in their states. Someone
I know, I saw it. I love it.
Like all over the United States, man. I put Australia. I don't think anybody believed me, but anyway.
No, Australia watches this. Trust me. They occasionally they're in here. And I know that Ireland's sometimes in here. England is sometimes in here. Somebody asked something about the Nancy Guthrie case. Let me just put it this way. No, Tulsa wouldn't have solved it. Okay. I'm sorry. I know that sounds like it may. I don't think so. I think that case is incredibly complicated. And here's the reason why. Nobody's talking. That's a case. They're going to talk. Somebody is going to talk eventually. Okay. Somebody knows what's up. There's more than one person that knows what happened there. They know who that is. They've heard him talking about it beforehand. I still, for the life of me, think my guess is, and I don't know this for sure, some of the people that have been talking heads on it that we know, Danny, there have been times when they say things on TV, and I know a handful of those people that have been on there. And I've been a little bit disappointed in some of the, people want to be that one person that they say that one thing they're going to be the first ones to say that's the guy, and they don't know that that's the guy. So it's going to get solved eventually. I promise you. I just know that it is. I hate to I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that case will get solved. It's not going to get solved. You know what's going to solve it? It's going to be somebody talking. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be somebody coming forward and talking. And then it's all going to fall into place, and then it's going to make sense. And they're going to go, okay, why didn't we see this before?
And we never said anything from inside the house until the very end when Savannah was talking about some things that were happened on the inside, like the doors were propped open. I mean, I never heard that in the beginning, but they didn't know anything about the inside. Listen,
the thing that concerns me about that kind of stuff, real quick, because I know people are going to grow tired of sitting in here. I will tell you this. I have a suspicion, and this is just a suspicion. I don't have anything to base this on, but I think that it's probably going to be somebody that's on one of the tentacles attached to that family.
Yeah, I agree.
It is somebody that knows somebody in that family, or is related to somebody, or is an in-law.
They've been in that house before.
It's going to be a son-in-law's cousin, or it's going to be something like that. I'm telling you, because that's not a stranger deal.
No,
I'm not saying it could be a stranger, but it's somebody that's attached to that family in some way, shape, or form. I just have it in my gut. I could be wrong. But I doubt it. I'm rarely wrong. So I thought, well, I mean, and here's the other thing. You said something about those doors being propped open.
Yeah.
Savannah Guthrie and the people that have had associations with that case, they need to keep their mouth quiet. You can't tell the secrets. The secrets need to stay secret. And that's a perfect example of how the media can get in there and completely jack your case up. The media does not need to know everything. I'm sorry. Sure. They need to keep that stuff quiet. And sometimes these cases are marathons, not sprints. Yeah. So we can talk more about stuff like this hey, Virginia. I'm glad Piper from Virginia. I love Virginia. I've spoke there in Virginia Beach twice. I've been to Quantico. I've been at the FBI Academy to take a class. And I like Virginia. Virginia's cool. So, and that's where Phyllis lives.
It's for lovers.
Yep, it says that on the license plate for sure. Let's see. Did you want to call, Adam? I can finish up if you want to call. Did you want to call? I see that you said, should I call?
Come on, Adam.
We can probably finish up with a quick call, and then I'll give you my little spiel that I do every time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed to my Facebook page, feel free to do that. And then and I'm on TikTok, man. My TikTok, I'm getting really close to 13,000 followers on there, and I'm still understanding that. Let's see, Plattsburgh, New York. I've not heard of Plattsburgh, New York.
Upstate.
But I know that we have somebody in the house from Rochester.
Yeah.
And she's here a lot.
Karen's from upstate New York.
She is. She's from Rochester. But let's see. I'm trying to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. I'm sorry if I missed you. I try to catch everybody. But I want to thank you, everybody, for the comments, etc. Beyond Homicide is perfect, Adam. I love it too.
3 times the charm.
But anyway, so all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Do we have a caller?
There it is.
Right.
Let me get my phone. Hold on. I got to take a picture of this.
That's even better, Amanda. That's the money shot right there.
I got it.
I that would be a perfect character for The Simpsons. I love it. I need to send that to Yardley and say, yeah, this is the one. And I might have to do that. That's perfect.
Perfect.
But and then they'll say, that's how it happened. That is really cool. Thank you for doing that.
I like it.
But anyway, so if we don't have a caller, if we have a caller, then throw them up. If we don't have a caller, throw them up, man, if that caller is actually in the house. If they're not,
no caller.
Okay, no caller. All right, so I think we'll just call it a night. What does everybody say? I think that we'll call it a night. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for being here. We've been here an hour and a half, and it was really a train wreck at the beginning. We'll iron it out, I promise. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for your kind comments, not only here, but on my Facebook page, my Instagram, all of my social media things. It's been very, very nice. I want you to check out New Calm, NU Calm. If you're suffering from any kinds of anxiety or anything like that, listen, I'm not making a dime from this. I'm telling you right now, the thing is legit. I can't. As a matter of fact, I'll mention this. They do offer a 7-day free trial, supposedly without a credit card. Supposedly. Danny, did you experience a problem with that?
No. What do you mean? The actual, whenever I was doing it, whenever I was going through the new calm? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I can't wait to do it again. I'm going to do it
again.
Well,
go do it tonight. Matter of fact, give me your password and I'm going to go do it too.
I will. I'll send it to you.
All right. Good night. Just Okie. I appreciate everybody here. Sun Lover, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Lee, 50 miles south of the Canadian border. Thank you for being here. And the rest of you. Karen, I appreciate it. Sally, thank you very much. I could go on and on. To my Aunt Sharon, who lives in Cottonwood, Arizona, thank you for being here. She's really old.
Sharon.
And I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Chris. Everybody else that's behind the scenes, I appreciate everybody. And until next week, I promise, I'm really sorry. Next week will be better. I promise. Okay. I'm sorry for the difficulties. It should be a plug and go, and we should be able to do fine. I think I'm gonna get off here and just enjoy the rest of my evening. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, take us out, Amanda.